All right, everybody, and we're back for another episode on Godly Table Talk. I have some dynamic men of faith, and we're going to have a conversation about love today, the true definition of love. So, y'all know what we're going to do, right? We're going to pray. We have one new person, so he's going to introduce himself, and then we're going to get down to that tea. Y'all ready, gentlemen? Let's pray, okay?
Okay.
God, we just thank you today. Father, we love you. Jesus, we thank you for your sacrifice on the cross. God, use us, move through us, help someone. Jesus, save someone. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Man, I haven't heard that one. You
All
prayed on a lot of these episodes, but Jesus saved someone. That's powerful. I love that one.
right. That's where we're here.
I know.
So, Chance, please introduce yourself, where you're from, how old you are, and like how long have you been following Christ? Like that's what we're here for. So please.
Oh, thank you, Makai, for inviting me on the show. I'm Chance, 28 years old. I would love to say that I've been following God my entire life, but let's just go when I'm able to read and just remember. So I'll say about since 6 years old, and I'm from Stone Mountain, like my brother, like my brother right there.
STONE
MOUNT AIN. Okay.
Did not mean for you to get excited. So, gentlemen, word on the street is it's like men don't know what love is anymore. Y'all just a bunch of hoes. So, what's going on? Like, can anyone tell me what is love? When you see a girl and you're like, "Ooh, I love her," how would you describe that feeling?
First of all, can I get the record straight?
Sure.
I believe me and Miles was actually talking about this the other day. I believe when men fall in love, we love harder and deeper. I think that's a true statement because it's rare when we throw out that L word. It's rare. So when we do, I mean it. Like right now, I have my brothers on. And when I say I love these dudes, I do whatever. For whatever, literally. Chance already know what's up. Miles, same type of energy. I do whatever. I don't know about kill somebody, but I do whatever for these boys right now. And I honestly say I love these boys. Like it would be tough if I lost these guys as a friend. No cap.
Hey, you got a little bit of a limit on it, don't you? Tell me, I do whatever except for kill somebody. But like, well,
I mean, I can't put that on the internet, Chance. Can't put that on the internet.
I know.
So, what is love?
Long suffering.
Okay. Chance?
Let's see. I feel like men love in different stages because you have to have a little bit of lust to you at first before you truly get to learn who this person truly is.
Wait a minute. That's deep. Say that one more time. You have to have a little bit of lust.
A little bit of lust. Also, before you can just truly say you love somebody, you don't know who this person is when you first see somebody. So you gotta have some type of attraction to them to get to that love stage. And then from that point, you just learning this person piece by piece, little by little. And then your definition of love is going to change as the relationship kind of grows. So it's hard for me to put a true definition on love because I feel like it just grows as you grow with that person.
Says a guy who been in a nice, steady relationship. Oof, Chance love the answer.
That's deep. Miles, what you got? A little bit of lust goes a long way. Go ahead. What you got, Miles?
That definitely does get everything started when you don't know the person, maybe. But like, I feel like love is different for men and women. So as far as men go, I think it would be like just wanting to, and I don't know if this is society or if this is just me, but like wanting to do for that person to make sure that person, wanting to be the reason to elevate that person's life, wanting to protect for that person, provide for that person, care for that person, nurture that person, things like that. And it can be many different ways, whether it be just giving support on your exams or your sports or whatever you do in your life, to being your rocking hard and tough moments and hard and tough places in your life, praying with you. Not everybody is vulnerable enough to pray with you, or some people aren't that like open to it, or just trying to ensure the better for that person. Sometimes at your own sacrifice. So, yeah.
Wow, that's deep. So you equate love with sacrifice. If you are, in all sincerity, sacrificing for a young woman, then you know you love her. Like she has a key to my heart.
Slick, because I'm not doing this for just anybody. Like, I think that's the separation in a sense, because what I'll do for my friends, I'm not going to do for an associate.
Mm-hmm.
What I'll do for my girlfriend, mate, is going to look different from friends. And then what I do for my wife has to look different from everybody, because that's kind of what sets the levels and the tiers apart from each other. So, in terms of the sacrifice, it should be greater here than here. And yeah, I guess that's how I look at it sometimes. Or it could be in any sense, whether it be like showing love, giving protection and provisions, or sacrifice in general. Yeah.
Different tiers. We're gonna go back. We're gonna get back to that. Jeremy, what you think? What is love?
I mean, a combination of everything they said. I mean, like I said, long suffering. I love using that word because long suffering means be able to sacrifice or put the other person's needs in front of yours for variable periods of times, right? There's going to be points in that relationship where things aren't going to be as impactful or super emotional or super charged up as it was in the beginning or in the middle or towards the end or however long that relationship lasts. So there's times in relationships where somebody's going to be down. Are you going to be able to pick that person up? Are you going to be able to carry the family on? Are you still going to be able to push forward and still be able to drag that person along until they're able to walk and gain their own strength again? But in that same breath, if I'm sacrificing, if I'm barely getting sleep, if I'm doing X, Y, and Z to make sure you're protected and safe and covered, in a sense, I would like that return upon me. But that's what you kind of look for when you find that partner or that love partner for life. You want somebody that's going to do the same for you, regardless of where you're at and where you might be later on. So patience is another good word I like to use, because you're not going to be easily angered anytime you love that partner. Yeah, those two words: long suffering and patience.
Well, you know this is a godly table talk, and so y'all know we're gonna bring the word in, and y'all know
Okay,
First
here we go.
Corinthians
Yep.
13 talks about love, right? And so, Jim, you said this like love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be still. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is it? What part disappears? So it talks about like how love stays, it's true and it's strong. So my question to y'all is, why do y'all think we're living in a society where people say I love you, and then tomorrow they may be out of love? What do you think the breakdown may be happening?
Chance, what was that first word you used before you described love?
Lust. Everybody
That's
has. I say everybody has so-called love until things hit the fan. Once things hit the fan, yeah, it's nothing but lust after that. Like, yeah, I gotta go. You gotta restart this process with somebody else. It's
it's so
easy.
many people. Sorry, Chance, go ahead.
I say, yeah, it's easy just to stay by somebody's side when everything is all good. But when stuff actually starts going wrong, are you gonna be willing to actually help put this person back together, this piece back together, or whatever issue that they have at the time? Are you willing to stay and help them put it back together, no matter what you might go through in the process of what you have going on in your life as well?
Jeremy, you were gonna say something?
People have a tendency to stay in relationships because of lust, right? The reason why, like, I've been pushing, like, for dudes to honestly keep their virginity till they get older or till they actually think they find the one, because sex keeps people in relationships, right? Oh, she's so good at X, Y, and Z, man, but she had a headache, yada yada. You stressing out everywhere in life except for one part, and that's in the bedroom, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it. But it happens over and over again.
So you think sex is clouding the water? It's making it hard for people to truly see black and white.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But once again, sex was made for a reason, correct?
Procreation.
When with anything in the Bible is used in the improper way, the devil will reside and take with it, and he gonna run with it. So sex has been placed into this world. Sex sells. We all know the advertisement. Girls on IG making all types of money because they bodies. OnlyFans, all this stuff.
Sex sells.
If you don't really know how to control your own lust and your own desires, you're going to get caught up in situations that you don't need to be in.
So how do you control your lust and your desires as a man?
Oof.
What you say?
Oof.
Oof. What's that? I'm missing. What's that?
I feel like Miles has something to say.
I don't know what oof is, but I think that you
How do you?
control.
Yes.
I think you control it through discipline. Easier said than done, of course, but and I'll touch on that in a minute, but I want to go back because I think the reason why it's so clouded today is probably because of the lack of people knowing what love is. Because I feel like your first encounter of love is, for anyone, is usually your parent.
Right.
How you interact with your mother as a son, how the opposite sex, whether it be your father in your life as a daughter or your mother in your life as a son, or both parents, regardless, that's your first interaction of love. So if one of those parents is missing, or one of those parents is not able to show it in a healthy and conducive way, you'll grow up with those bad traits and bad habits, and you may carry those on until it's either fixed by you or fixed by someone else later down the line. And some of these people today are carrying problems from 20 years, carrying 20-year traumas, 22-year traumas that they fail to realize or not trying to listen to or not trying to get fixed. I think the other thing that kind of coincides with it is lack of self. Like, people don't really know themselves. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be troublesome because you would think you're with you 24/7, so you got to know yourself. But
Right.
people don't really spend as much time like going into the depths of, why do I like this? Why does this make me mad? Why do I love this girl? Why did I do that? Why did I XYZ? And because you don't know yourself, you're not going to know what it is
Right.
that you like or love about you to then spread that to someone else. So there's that one.
I mean, Miles, I agree. Like the Bible says, with all that getting and understanding, it's very important. Like with all that getting, the God is trying to tell us we're gonna get a lot of stuff, but you better get an understanding, because I feel like, because I know who I am, it's hard to buckle me. Like when I tell people, oh, I'm easily excitable, they be like, no, you're not, until they give me a candy bar and I lose my mind. And they be like, oh my God, like you really easily excitable. So it's very important to know. Why are you laughing, Jerry? It's very important to know who you are. And I think a lot of times we let society tell us who we are. And a lot of people don't know their true identity, and it comes from God. He created you. For those he foreknew, he predestinated. So he made you, he created you, and it's very important that you get what you're supposed to have from God. But how many people, like, to be honest, gentlemen, like how much in your relationships in your past that you led with God first? We having an honest conversation. Ooh, ooh.
I was say this one right here, my first one. Well, the one I'm in right now, this is like my first time.
Amen.
Younger me, absolutely not.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie about that.
I think
go ahead, Mel.
I think I had like one time.
Yeah.
I was in Bible study. I was in a good little phase. Then I found the streets again and lost my way. So
they be calling. They be calling.
So yeah.
That's tough.
Okay, Miles. Chance is one, Miles is one, Nathaniel.
That's a great question.
How many
honestly, I would like to say one as well, because in reality, I entered it with all good intentions and like God intentfulness, and was excited about the next step. And then it just kind of all dumped on my head
Why did it all dump on your head?
because certain things we should have just not been doing.
Sex. Understood. So, gentlemen, I mean, you guys are speaking truth. Like 28, 29, 29. Like you guys are speaking truth. So, how do y'all
I
feel?
think we all 28.
You'll be 29. I think Miles is 29. Chance is 28.
No,
I just turned 28. Well,
Oh
exactly.
my God.
We're all 28. We're all 28. Slow down, Charlotte.
She said them old guys and Chance.
That's literally what happened.
So, gentlemen, like, how do you feel about women saying like there's no more good men?
Ooh, I hate being in those conversations.
is it projection?
It's not even like, bro, hear me out. I'm not,
What do you hold on, Jeremy? What do you mean by is it projection? Like what do you
well, I didn't say that at all. Miles said
I know
that.
There are some that tend to think that you attract what you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you continue to cast your fishing net rod out and get whatever it is that you continue to get, is it that they're the problem, or is it
Ooh,
what you're
let's
looking for?
talk about it.
You. And that's not just women. I mean, it's men too, but since you asked me about that side, I'm just talking about that side. So it could be projection, could be, or
okay, or
they could be right, and it's just not too many good niggas in the world. I don't know. I don't know. I think any good men, but yeah.
You said what you said.
He did.
You said what
Time to
you
clean it
said.
up. Too late. It's already being recorded.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Thank
too late
you
now.
for your honesty. Okay.
We don't got to
Guys,
bleep thing. We're not gonna bleep it out. I thought it was gonna bleep it out.
I don't know how
she's
to do
not.
that. I'm not that technical
Yeah, you're
savvy.
not there yet.
No,
Budget
I
cuts.
just learned how to put the subscribe and another video at the end. Jeremy taught me that the other day. I'm really fancy now. Golly Table Talk up and up. Hashtag Golly Table Talk.
Um, the reason why I say I don't like being a part of those conversations, because I would like to think that myself, I'm pretty decent. I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but I'm pretty solid. Like
I'll give you
you're
that.
gonna you're gonna get home safe. I'm not gonna touch you in a pro. Like if you don't want to be touched on the way, it's cool. I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm not about yelling at women or putting my hands on women. Um, and the circle I keep around me, basically the same energy. We're not those type of guys that's gonna be having multiple bodies at the same time. We're not going to turn around and try to like dog you out to our friends. We might be frustrated and get like into arguments, and of course we'll have sound conversation with our boys. But I'm not going to try to hurt you on purpose. That's not my intent at all.
Now,
So
do you feel like you're that way because of the way that you were raised?
I feel well, for one, my father wasn't the best example.
Okay.
It is what it is. B, I had to kind of I went through this eternal battle for a good 4 years after our parents got divorced because of like dad being more of me feeling like he was so hypocritical about certain things that he taught us. So I was very much trying to decide like what to hold on and what to throw away in my own brain for it. Wow. And I was trying to run away from it. But having a mother and sister definitely helped. Having a father who did lay down certain ground rules of chivalry and being generous and kind to the young lady you're dating helped. The rest of it was kind of like I had to pick up on the go. College helped out with a lot of it.
Pick up on the go. Okay. Chance. No good men. How you feel?
I've always been like a listener. So I like to hear people's standpoint before I just like, oh, she can't pick a good man or just like place him somewhere. So for me, I'm like, I just have to listen to him. Okay, and then I'll usually step in and kind of like correct them or guide them to where they need to be. If they take what I say, fine. If they don't, they can continue down the same path. Somebody other than me will be the messenger for them. I'm not going to force my ways on them because their ways are too important to them right now for them to listen to me.
Wow. Well, that's true too. All right, gentlemen. So this is going to be a tough question, but I'm going to ask it. Why do you feel like you are not married now?
Let's see.
That is a tough question. What a great question, Micaiah. I don't want to answer this one first.
Hey, don't worry, I'll answer it first.
All right, there we go.
So,
Good man.
I'm heading in the right direction at least.
All right, throw the rest of us on the bus.
Yeah, had to leave with that. He had to leave with
That's
that.
wild.
He has to make sure he led with that one.
Hey, child, I answer first. Rewind.
Hey, if I get to answer first, I get to say what I want to
That's
say.
wild, dude. Okay, James.
Hey, I'm just playing, but
There's truth in every joke, Chance. There's truth.
I mean, if anybody's
true.
closest in this group of men right now, it probably is Chance. That is
So,
correct.
Chance, why do you feel like you are closer than your counterparts, than your friends, your homies, your homeboys, your player partners?
You sound old. Stop.
Oh, simply because it's just how you look at it in life. I've always just been like a one woman type of guy. No, hey, it took y'all a while.
Yes.
Hey, let's not lie about it.
You calling y'all out. So Jeremy's been a cheater, Miles, you've been a cheater.
Whoa!
I'm not calling them cheaters at all. I'm just talking about like talking stations and whatnot. I'd rather just with one woman.
He says from beginning to end, he meets one woman. That means if y'all are in the talking phase, y'all are talking to like 6 different women.
This just took such a crazy turn.
God dang. Micaiah, what is
I'm about to say cheating. No. We won't. Black men don't cheat. Simple as that.
this? Whoa.
Yeah, because I know earlier, and I know when I had my child, it kind of just set me back. I had to really learn who I was as a man and kind of just mold myself into the man I wanted to be. Kind of like Jeremy, I watched my father as like a bad example. I watched him be a cheater in multiple marriages and relationships. So I was just like, I'm not gonna be like that. And then if your mom get mad, tell me you're gonna end up just like your dad. I'm like, I will not. I refuse. I do work.
I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Yeah. So constantly just
wow.
you just like you fight those battles every day. Just like, of course, you're gonna take certain things from your parents and all that, but you're not gonna be just like your parents. So I took it upon myself to actually just start doing the work early. And then once you just got out here and just like start dating different people, certain people bring out different sides to you. So if you don't like that side, like, ooh, I need to work on that. Like after I'm done, I'm like, I need to work on that. Like I need to build. Take some time off and then go back into dating. Somebody else might show you something different. Like I don't like that part of me either. So, you just get to the point where I'm like, okay, I finally feel as complete as possible to actually head toward a marriage. Because if you have no type of problem solving skills and you can't solve the problems within you, you can't solve anybody else's problems.
You have to have problem solving skills within inside of you to solve your own problems before you can help solve somebody else's problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cheater. Which cheater wants to talk first?
Well, let me get ahead of it before any other narratives.
I didn't call anybody
can't get much worse than this, but yeah, let me just
my guy.
ahead. Yeah. So I would think that, and I can't speak for all men, like me myself, like I'm very goal oriented, and sometimes that could be to a fault. I don't feel like I am where I want to be at the moment before I make the step towards marriage. And that could be in terms of like trying to be the best self, trying to be a provider, not just financially. There are things that I'm still working on from past relationships that I know are going to be necessary and beneficial for the next one. So I think until I get there in terms of those things, and then on top of that, the financial aspect as well, because to do marriage, and then I would like to start a family after. If I can, if I can't provide for those people like I want to, then it's not time to put anyone in a bad situation. So I think it's like that.
Cheater number 2.
It's crazy.
I don't know who she talking to, bro. But I'm gonna go ahead and speak. Um, nah, it's a great question, man. At one point, I felt like I was gonna get married. Then it all kind of
Was
like,
that A?
yeah, don't drop anything. Relax. At one
I
point,
know who A is, right, gentlemen? Okay.
yes, Micaiah. They are well caught up on my game. Um, at one point, I legit did though, and then a good point to a chance. It's like I was trying to help them so much that I kind of lost myself. And then I realized I wasn't getting what I needed from them back. But in reality, I didn't need them to give me anything. I was using them as a crutch when in reality, God has always been your crutch. So now I would say I feel like I'm in a great position if I truly wanted to. I just have something similar to Miles. It's like the time on my hands right now is very thin. Like even right now, I'm quite tired. My eyes are red. I just have a lot of things going on. But I think God has placed me in this position to do certain things in this world right now before I even do get married. So if anything, I blame Jesus.
All right.
Okay.
But
Gentlemen,
no, I think like there's constant healing. I think there's still a few things I need to work on for sure. But I feel like legit, I feel like I'm in a good space. If I wanted to be married, I could get married. I just don't want to be married right now.
so by choice, you are
I
choosing.
would say I would say it's more choice right now.
Okay. So, gentlemen, do you know what the love of God feels like? What it looks like? Sheesh.
I would like to say yes,
Yeah, I would love to say
Yeah, I
yes
like
too.
to, yeah.
Okay. So, what is it? What does the love of God feel like to you?
like a nice soft hand upon the cheek in the morning with dew on the grass and the sun
Run
rising above.
out.
Relax.
Run out.
Nah, it's just I don't know, man. Everything's okay. So I'll describe it as a white room. You're laying in your bed, wrapped around your blankets in an all white room, and the sun is slowly peeking through the window. For me, that is such a blissful state for some reason in my brain. So for me, that's what like the love of God is. It's just purity, it's just comfort, it's relaxing, it's in a sense intimate, encasing, enveloping, all that good stuff.
Some nice adjectives. So, we unpack our adjectives. Chance.
Yeah. To me, it kind of feels like kind of being like a lifelong toddler, and God is always there to correct you where you need to go. Like even if you like done your worst, done like
Oh,
everybody to look at you a different way, just like you're a terrible person. God's gonna be there, like, see, I told you not to go down there, but also put me back where I need to be. If I truly do listen to him, sometimes I don't listen. I still try to use my
Mm-hmm.
path, but he's gonna force you back onto that path regardless. So it just feels like a very just having like a stern parent in your life that just loves you a lot.
Stern parent.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Like in terms of the imagery, it's like you're a kid and you're growing up and there's constant missteps. And as a kid, I don't know about you guys, but like I revered my father because he African man, thick accent, mean, XYZ, but everything that he's telling you is for purpose, for the betterment of you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's caring but very stern. Like you know better. You shouldn't be doing that. You have no business outside right now. You have no business making these grades in this class. You're better than that. And it's that constant reminder of, yes, what you did was wrong. I see you. I understand why you made the mistake, but I know you can do better and get back on the right track. And it's something like that's like always reassuring, no matter how far off you tend to stray.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you described it using your natural father. And I think that we forget that our parents are supposed to be our examples. And
Mm-hmm.
like one of you guys, I can't remember who said it, but a lot of times it's because we've had some bad trauma from the love of our parents that we do not know what love is. We don't even know what it feels like. It's so toxic now. It's so hurtful now. And love shouldn't hurt. It just shouldn't. And I think that we have gotten away from the biblical standpoint of love, and we just ran with whatever the society at that time has taught us. And it's so sad that hurt people are having children and hurting children and not even realizing it because you were hurt from your parents and their parents hurt them. And so we're in this downward spiral of hurt. So what are you going to do, gentlemen, to say, I'm going to stop the hurt?
I don't know if you realize it, but like those two have already like made comments in which they've taken a step to stop the hurt, because they both mentioned like things that they saw their father doing that was wrong, and say, see, I seen him do this, and I'm not gonna be that, so I'm gonna do it like this. So I seen both of them do that. But I feel like for like anyone or everyone in general, like some people or most people are not strong enough to fight 20-year, 30-year, 40-year traumas on their own. Like it's good to journal some things down. It's good to talk things out with a friend. It's good to get therapy. But sometimes in the Black community,
Stigmatized.
it's a stigma. You crazy or something like that. And I feel like that's the very least of it when you just need like expression or to like let it out. Or sometimes, most times, people go through like the wrong path of things or not able to heal from certain things and talk to everybody else except for God.
Mm.
And the person that they need to turn to the most is just waiting for them to turn to them.
That's deep. That's deep, Miles. The person you need to turn to the most is God. That's deep. Jeremy? Jeremy?
I got nothing to say. I mean, I've dealt with my fair share. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but a few women who did not love themselves, who had parents who would go to church every Sunday but be alcoholics, drug addicts, and abuse their kids. So then they were chased away from God themselves. Um, some of them chose to seek God again, others went the other way. And you can see the difference. You can see the pain on their skin. You can see the pain through their eyes, the depression that came with it. Them going out every other night, getting lit, getting drunk or whatever. Constantly need friends around them, reassurance, constantly in and out of relationships. And then the other ones, like you'll see that aren't in relationships, have an isolation, but has a secret depression, easily attaches, and hard to let go. Um, it's a tough road to heal from what your parents have done because it's over a course of several years. It's the healing process. Mom taught me a long time ago. It took several years for that trauma to be placed. It's going to take several years for it to be healed. Nothing's ever overnight fix. Even where I'm at right now, I was a lot of long nights. I was crying in my car at the end of a road trip, like deep thoughts, late at night, windows rolled down. And a lot of those conversations with myself ended with me pointing to God, asking Him to heal the certain areas of my life, or to show me certain areas of my life where I do need to build. And it's a process, man. It's not an easy process. But when you have a good circle around you who you're able to talk to, like Miles said, I'd say all the time, like I never really needed therapy. I was always my own therapist because I've always been very hard on myself. I'm very analytical, self-critical, just constantly always looking inward and trying to see what I can improve on a day-to-day basis. Even right now, in the position I'm in, blessed to be here, highly stressed. But there's certain things that I'm trying to build consistency, productivity, and discipline with, and that's been like my 3 years for this year in perspective. Um, so as long as you continue to place goals and to, like Miles says, continue to seek God first, a lot of things do become easier.
Okay. Chance.
Yeah.
Heavy. Heavy.
I don't. Yeah, all I can do is just kind of build off what everybody's been saying. I think therapy is very important because you do realize there are a lot of people who just don't like to be alone with their own thoughts. Like just learning how to self-diagnose your own problems. It's rough sometimes because you truly can't put into words sometimes what makes you feel that way or how this a person affected like your mindset for you to get that way. So if you can't do that, it's okay to seek out help. You're not a crazy person. Like I really want that stigma to be like debunked in the Black community. We all need help. As men as a whole, or just Black men in general, like we are highly suicidal because we have no one to talk to, or we feel like we have no one to talk to. So a lot of people just internalize stuff and they don't actually get a chance to get it out. So I just think, find the best way for you at the end of the day.
Facts. Everybody's different. It's going to take everybody their own process, their own path. But that's what God is for. He's a father to many, and He fathers everybody differently.
Facts.
That's true. Okay, gentlemen. Well, I just have one more question. So if you guys have any, please, this is your chance. So when you were younger,
Oof.
Wait,
how
hold on.
okay.
I do got a question.
Okay.
Well, I might have two, but I have one.
Please have to. Mhm.
So for us, when we were describing what love felt like, we described it in the sense of like a father to son type
Mhm.
idea. What would you, uh,
Describe
yeah,
God's love.
what does it feel like to you?
I don't know. I always looked at God as like my best friend. Um, I was the only girl in the family, and so I didn't really have anybody to talk to. And so I always looked at God as like a best friend, more so like a confidant. For the longest time, like until I was like 20 some years old, I never truly got on my knees to pray. I always was just in my car riding, and me and God was just talking, you know? So I always looked at him as like a friend, as like a confidant. He really didn't become Abba, father to me until I was about 27, 28. He became father. And I really understood that relationship. But it does go back to I didn't have a good relationship with my natural father. And so I did not know what it looked like for a father. So I could not imagine God in that role as father until I understood when my father and my mother forsaken me, God will take me up. And at that time, I was like, yeah, 25, 26 is when I really understood Abba. I really understood that. And it wasn't until then. Um, and it's really sad that we have people having children and not knowing how to parent. We have people wanting to be in relationships and wanting to get married and don't even know what love is. It's really sad. The divorce rate is high. People are badly hurt and beaten. And it doesn't have to be like that, but we don't take the time to look up or even inward to figure out what's going on within ourselves to really have God deal with it. And like Jeremy says, you can self-diagnose yourself if you just take a second. A lot of times we jump from relationship to relationship to relationship.
Oof.
That's not always good. Sometimes you really need to take a second and self-diagnose. I mean, Chance talked about how he'll get into this relationship and he'll figure out, okay, I didn't like that. I need to go in there and figure out what's wrong with me. Like, how many of us really get out of a relationship and spend time to heal?
I got a question.
Uh-oh. Like, how many of us really spend time healing after a relationship and really figure out, God, what did I do wrong? What was my flaws? Help me to fix it. Because a lot of times what people don't realize is when you start going to God and asking for deliverance, he will start bringing people in your path. And a lot of times when I really wanted to focus on my deliverance in my 20s, because I did a lot of focus on deliverance in my 20s, my friends thought I was going missing. Now I was spending time with God because something was wrong with me. I couldn't even think straight without snapping on somebody. Something is wrong. So I spent a lot of time with God in my 20s and I didn't talk to people. I wasn't texting folks. You can ask Jeremy, I was in my room praying. I wasn't texting people. I had to figure this out, read books. So he would bring different guys in my path. And one guy told me, I was 25 years old. He said, are you listening to understand? Or are you listening to just respond? I was like,
talk about it.
I was like, I'm perfect. What you mean? I treat everybody good. No, I don't.
You said that? Did you
I
say
sure
that?
did to myself.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I had some work to do. I did not listen.
At least I didn't say, I never said that.
You're better than me. Because I knew I was Little Miss Perfect.
I always knew I was better than you.
God will break you down and put you on your knees. And when God break you down and put you on your knees is exactly what you need to humble you, to fix you, so he can mean you and fix you. So my definition of love with God has definitely changed to that 1 Corinthians, okay? Love is patient, it's kind, it's not easily angered. And it took 2023 to teach me what truly is love and how badder a person can be from family flaws and family missteps and cheating parents. Folks is tripping. We need to do better. And it took, I had some real bad conversations with Jeff. Me and Jeff was in that car. He had it taking trips with me because I showed up asked my dad, why did you cheat on my mother? I asked him, why were you abusive? I asked my dad. Sure did.
It's crazy how bold you are to ask father these questions, and his sons be like, and you could tell we had different raising techniques from him when it came down to his sons and to his daughter. Because he really didn't touch, he did, of course, a few times, but he ain't never really we were scared just to walk into that man's room at sometimes, man. Legs be shaking at the door. Couldn't even move. It was bad. That's crazy. Congratulations. I'm glad you were able to ask those questions. We're going to talk later so I can get some of those answers.
Sure. I call him now. Okay. Real quick. Because, we have daddy issues. If you have them, you have them. Go deal with them. Because you're not helping nobody sitting around with that much anger. Because like I tell people all the time, you sit around with anger. Yeah, you can push it deep down to where it won't show. But it will fizzle up in some other form, in some other area of your life. And you're going to end up damaging more people or hurting people just because you don't want to deal with that hurt. Sometimes you got to talk to your parents. Sometimes you just got to ask them questions. You just got to ask them. It is, if your daddy cheated on your mom, you just got to ask why. Why did you cheat? What was going through your mind? And then you will soon then learn demons is real. When Jeff said to me, and I quote, I don't remember doing none of that.
Dude, I remember he said that too. Oof.
Demons
PTSD.
is real.
PTSD is crazy.
Demons is real. You don't even remember doing stuff to people. Demons is real. Go ahead. What you say?
No, I was about to say, sometimes within those situations, whether it be tackling traumas between parents or even tackling traumas between past. Like sometimes you'll ask the question thinking you're gonna get the answer that you want to get, but try to go into it with like, even if I don't get that answer, let me try to understand this person. Because for some crazy way, that explanation makes sense to them. You may not be able to comprehend it, but 2 + 2 = 4 to them. So,
and that's how you know
yeah.
demons is real. The best advice I ever got from Tanya Omega Leslie was this: if it doesn't make sense naturally, it's supernatural. Demons is real. If it does not make sense, if it cannot, 2 + 2 ain't equaling 4 up here in your mind, it's supernatural. Demons is real. They real.
What was the video? Demons is real.
Demons is real. I mean, they are real.
Demons
Like
is
the
real.
devil is winning because we don't want to admit that we don't wrestle with flesh and blood, but with principalities and rulers of darkness. And that's why the devil is winning, because we don't want to believe that I can be possessed by something that is outside of my control. But you can. And they real. Jeremy had a question. Jeremy said, you said you might have two. You have another question for me, Miles?
Nah, that's the only one right now.
Okay, let me know. Jeremy said, do men grow outside or inside relationships more effectively? Okay, that's a good question. Gentlemen, men? How do you grow?
Okay, so I started this off again.
Thanks, Chance. Chance, my boy.
I thought I had been starting off. My fault.
My boy.
No, you good.
My boy.
But I would say early on, I grew like outside of them better. Simply because you just get a chance to really just look at the overview of things. You're just like, wow, I said that. That was really hurtful. Why did I say that in that moment? Demons are real. It's like they do take over.
I mean, side note, Chance, 1 second. You know, the Bible says your soul can be like an unfenced city, easily attainable by the enemy. So the best way to help is to mean your soul. Deliver and mean your soul. You're going to have to. You got to take control of it. Or you can be like an unfenced city. I ain't trying to be like that. Go ahead, Chance. That was my little sidebar. Go ahead.
And so now with the relationship that I'm in now, it's like I can still grow externally, but internally, like inside a relationship, I'm doing great because I can just catch myself in the act or just understand why I'm doing this at the moment, just from all my previous lessons that I had, just like growing up and growing into the man that I am now. So I was like, let's not say that right now. I was just like, you're speaking out of anger. Something's trying to take over you. Let's keep it right here. Let's keep it right here. So, I feel like men are able to do both. You just have to get to that point where you can grow internally with somebody because picking that right person is tough. Because some people do push your buttons and just make you want to go left, but you got to stay on the right course. You got to stay on the right path.
So you've learned how to take control over your emotions. Wow.
See, I feel like there are certain seeds that require certain soil and able to grow to their full potential. You're not going to go plant a tree in the middle of concrete because it's not going to grow. So where it's like some people do have good growth within relationships, but I feel like that may take a maturity level because there are people within relationships that, okay, so your girl starts to check you. And you like, man, I'm the man of this. I run this. You can't check me. Whole time she right. But you're not respecting her because you're not mature enough to put your ego to the side. Or there are some people that by themselves can't grow also because like it's lawless. Like you're not strong enough to discipline yourself. So you just do whatever. So it's like I think it changes from person to person. And I think men probably men that are trying to will probably grow more in relationships when they have someone to hold them accountable and they're mature enough to take that accountability from the person that they trust. So yeah.
You just said a key word though. Trust.
Yeah. If you don't trust that person, you're not
lose
gonna respect what they got to say.
trust. You don't even trust yourself.
What about you, Miles?
We like self-respect.
Sure. Growth in or out of relationships, I think most of the growth has happened outside of the relationship. And I think that's because I'm able to look back at a failed relationship or not so good of a relationship and be like, man, I was tripping. Man, I could have done that better. I'm talking about feelings and it's principle based. And the two shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm able to see the things that I did wrong and able to move forward with them and try to correct those things before the next one. So for me right now, outside, what about yourself?
Yeah, Jeremy. What about you?
McCall, I'm gonna just turn off your camera. This is gonna happen. Nah, man, I feel like same boat. I grew a lot outside of my relationships. Once again, me being very self-analytical. That kind of just comes with it. Honestly, I give credit to my pops for that skill set because he was always so analytical on us. So you have to come correct before you talk to pops. If you did it, it's gonna be hell to pay. So definitely, but also all glory to the man above because he showed me things or he put things in my mind or remind me of situations where I went wrong in the past. And I've had that season of isolation where I was dealing with my own self and my own healing. And then I would turn around and be outside and deal with certain women outside of that bracket and realize that I still wasn't in the best place to be in something serious or be looking for a wife. So
Any more questions? So, gentlemen,
what were you about to say, Makai?
Go ahead, Jeremy.
What were you about to say?
Go ahead.
Happened so fast. So what were you about to say, Makai?
I don't know what happened to him. Whoa.
He closed his computer. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. I saw the
Okay.
whole animation.
No, I was just gonna ask, like, how will you change love for your family going forward?
I so mom sent me some videos a long time ago when I thought I was ready to be married, about being a father, how you as a man is a representation of God. And how you as a man of a family you're the first example of God to your children, to your partner. You are that flesh and blood example. And I think as long as I'm not saying I'm God, I'm not perfect because I'm still human, but as long as I strive for the traits that God exemplifies and Jesus shows on a day-to-day basis, I think it's tough for me to do wrong. As long as I continue, once again, keep God first, do my due diligence in praying, reading my Bible, studying up on my word, the living word, I think it will be hard for me to go wrong at this point.
That's deep, Jeremy. Chance, what about you? What will you do to move love forward in your family?
Since I actually do have a
How's
daughter,
your back?
Yeah, my fault. My fault.
Go ahead, Chance.
yeah. So actually, already having a daughter, I get to practice it in real life.
That's kid for real.
Yeah. So, everything you just learn from your parents, like you learn to keep the good things, you learn to expel all the bad that they've done in your life. So it just makes you into a better parent. You got to wake up praying every single day. You're in the right mindset that you can just be the best version of yourself that you can be. We aren't perfect. We will never be perfect, but we can always strive to be perfect. So just constantly, just believing in the man upstairs and just making sure that you stand on your path. And my path is just like my best way of just moving forward every single day.
Wow. Okay. Miles, the question was, how will you change love in your family moving forward? We understand that we may have been taught love wrong. So how will you move forward learning love in your family?
Probably listening and being more aware. I think my constant thing as a kid, at least, was when I told my parents something, it's like, or when they would tell me something like they know more and they've been on this earth longer, whatever, I'd be like, yeah, but the world that you grow up in and the world that I grew up in is two different worlds. And then on top of that, mine plays a little bit deeper because like you grew up in a third world country in Africa while I'm in America. So it's like it's two completely different worlds. So it's like, although my parents will be in the same, me and my kids will be in the same America that I'm in, I'm sure with all the advancements in technology and XYZ that we're getting today, it's going to be two different worlds from when we grew up. But as a parent, I have to be attentive and aware to be like, no matter what they're saying, let me still listen. Let me still give my best ear to try to give them sound quality advice and sound quality guidance to bridge that gap. Because if they don't get it from you, they're gonna get it from someone else. And don't let it be their little friends. Because you don't
Not
know
the little friends.
you don't
Jesus,
know
You and
what
Miles.
your
the
You
little
already
little
sound
friends.
like
kids
a
saying.
dad.
You don't know what the
You already
little
sounding
kid
like
be
a dad.
saying.
That's
Yeah, the
crazy.
kids.
That's right there.
Little friend.
All
Oh,
right.
my land. So, Chance, we all gonna be invited to a wedding next year, right? That's what it sounds like.
Whoa, slow down. Stop putting things on people, bro. First
Yeah,
you
I would
calling
be.
us
Will.
cheaters, and now you saying
I
Chance,
will
who
do
called
that.
y'all
Hello,
cheaters? I didn't
Chance.
call y'all cheaters.
I didn't call
first
nobody a cheater.
Nah. Don't back out of it now.
I didn't call nobody a cheater.
Chance, you definitely did say you'd be the one that's usually a man of
So
single woman only.
no,
That's how you started our sentence off.
Implying that the other men are
Basically,
not.
Chance.
My
I mean,
family
I'm not
is
gonna take.
steady.
I didn't take it as that way, but the world's gonna take it as that way, and that's what Micaiah took it and threw
hey,
at it.
hey, I don't care how they take it. I know how I meant it.
Oh, he don't care. He still love y'all. Y'all still his ride
Perspective.
or die. Okay.
Word of the year is perspective, bro. Everybody's
Perception
perspective
is
is different.
reality.
It's their reality.
Communication is crazy, right? 20% of what you say, 80% about how the other person perceives it.
Yep.
That.
And they're
That's
crazy.
so true.
Where are
So
they at?
does even when like we're in relationships and friendships, it's crazy that you can mean something from the most honest place in your heart. If they take it wrong, that's you said it wrong. You got
That's
to
I really started saying like I don't know when I started saying it, but I was like all arguments are all arguments or disagreements is often miscommunication. Like
yeah.
someone just
It's
didn't
not
understand.
even dude. It's just not even miscommunication, man. It's legit perspective, bro. Everybody sees everything differently, bro, at all times of the
That's
day.
so
At all times of the day, man. Yeah, and I've noticed that from last me, my mom got into a heat argument one time, and like I was arguing with certain people, and I realized like depending on their upbringing, what they're going through at that certain moment, how their life is, what trauma, what's unhealed, what's healed, perspective is huge, man. And when you take the time to show empathy, not sympathy, empathy, to put somebody else's shoes on and see through their eyes, you like that's why for me, I truly am looking for a friend first before I fall in love again. Like I want to really know who you are, your background, where you come from. So when we do have these uncomfortable conversations, I know your perspective on things already. So I could go through this minefield way easier instead of me constantly stepping on each mine and blowing stuff up out of proportion. When in reality, we on the beach, we supposed to be on the beach chilling. I'm stepping on mine because I don't know how to talk to you properly. But the
in
only way you
love?
get there is by actually knowing that person.
That's so sweet, Jeremy. That's so sweet. Oh, you were in love?
This is called life lessons. This is called learning the hard way.
Fall in love again.
I was in love.
Right, so you were in love before.
Oh, I thought you said I am in love as a wolf. Yeah, I was in love. I was ready to get married at one point. What does that mean?
You just ready to get married?
He was tired of being in lust. He was tired of living in sin. I don't know. A lot of people get married for different reasons. Hello, shotgun weddings. They do exist. Hello. Hey. Someone would be like, you done knocked me up. I'm tired. Hello.
Hello.
All those situations exist. Gentlemen, thank you for a dynamic conversation. Y'all know what it is. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time.